Let's talk about rules as written and the responsibility, authority, and control a game master has under that condition. If your players demand that you run a game rules as written and you agree to do that, explain to them what that means. First, what would be the truth? You are tempted to cheat when you're trying to run a game rules as written. And almost all, at least 99.9% of game masters, will cheat. Let your players know, if they don't want you to cheat, they can't hold the flaws of the game over your head. If you are taking down the enemies too easily, and it's more to do with the numbers and the monsters and the game's stats, well, that's the game's problem, not the game master. The game master needs to be able to take things apart and make changes to have enough control, to have authority that they need to make the game go smoothly for you. If you take that away from them and they can't make changes and they got to do what the book says, well, you got to deal with the game's flaws without blaming the game master. There is no TTRPG on the market that isn't broken. If you try to run any tabletop role-playing game by the book purely with no changes, you will see the flaws clearly. 99.9% of game masters that I have encountered that tell me they do it by the book, when I actually examine what they're really doing, I see the changes. Minor or major, they are still all changes. And that means you're not doing it by the book. Oh, you do everything by the book except for initiative? Well, guess what? You're not running rules as written. So don't waste my time with such a foolish and silly claim. Players, do me a favor. Stop making the game system more important to you than who runs the game. You know, back in the 80s when I was growing up, you would hear about the game master. Oh, Rick, he's great. He's one of the best. You know, then people would ask, what game is he running? Nowadays, people ask what game you're running before they want to know who you are or how good you are. You may wonder, in 2023, why is the game master responsible for buying most of the books? And why do the companies really target DMs, game masters, because they know that's going to be who's purchasing the books? Why is that a habit? Why is that a thing in the hobby? It comes from the old school era of the hobby. When the game mattered less, the game master's reputation is what sold their game to players. So the players didn't have to buy a player's handbook. The DM applied everything because everything was applied based on their reputation. You don't worry about the game. They're going to handle that for you. They know the rules. They get the player's handbook. All you got to do is consider joining their game, and hopefully their reputation is what's selling them to you. In my opinion, modern day dungeon masters for games like 5e should never purchase the material for players. Most players in that part of the hobby simply don't take your reputation serious, and they choose the game over you. If they want to choose the game over you, let them go purchase their own books. Don't provide material. Don't assist them in that way. In my opinion, because even the most minor change means you're not doing rules as written, the idea of sticking to the book, word by word, rules as written, is an unrealistic expectation. And if you have made a change to something like just initiative, that's it, and you want to claim that you're still doing it rules as written, you're lying. You're lying to yourself, and you're lying to us. The reason public gaming was better in the 80s and 90s than it is now, it is because we depended more on the quality of people and less on what the game was. When you choose the game over the people, it will lead you to having less respect for the people that you game with, including the game master. All that does is push us all further away from each other when we don't depend on who we are and what we can do, and we depend more on the books and the games. Rules as written, the entire concept of, oh, that's the way to run these games and play these games, it's silly and it's stupid and it's wrong. So, Game Master, remember to remind your players, if you do run it rules as written like they want, when the game causes things to go south, don't dare blame it on you. Okay, there is some food for thought. For now, take care.
You know what you can do? You can hit the like button. You can share the video. Oh, and there's another button you can press. That one that lets you subscribe to my channel for more content. Oh yeah, there's that bell thing. You can press that so you know when I've uploaded a new video right away.